So before I foam roll, we always want to warm up our bodies. And what's great here is you can feel those restrictions, those areas that need to move, and then we're going to hit the foam roller. So we're going to move those areas, almost like chiropractic would. We're removing those restrictions with an adjustment. That's going to allow you better motion in your spine so you can elongate even better. So we're just going to do it cold right now, warm our bodies up before we roll. It's always a good idea. You know, the general rule of thumb is you want to warm up, then you want to stretch, then you want to strengthen. Make sense? So we'll start with some basic ones. Bring your big toes together. This one helps us lift up that outside of the arch. See how I kind of get taller? I use the grabbing to drive my hips up and back. So this one we don't hinge as much. Same idea, we're pulling the shoulders down. So we already got our hips locked in. We're grabbing the floor, locking those hips in, turning in. Now we throw the shoulders into the mix. Pulling in, pulling down. Then we're just going to serve the platter. So we're bringing up a big plate of food as we hinge just a little bit. You notice we won't be able to hinge as much here before we hit that shaky wall. Let's do 5 of those. We're just going to go rough today. I'll come around. We'll do all these at the end. For now, just do your best. You'll get better at it the more you do it. Don't forget to breathe. So I'm just going to shut up, and you can listen to how I breathe. Always wait till I hit that end point. Filling up my lungs. Exhale on the exertion. When I'm lifting, I blow out. Hit that shaky wall, hold it. Filling up the lungs, pulling the shoulders down. Exhaling. Driving the hips back. Spine lengthens in the middle. It's pretty achy right there, so shake it off. You'll get there. Next, normal founder, so about shoulder width apart. So I'll go this way for the camera. Same idea, we're grabbing, we're still pulling up the outside of the foot. Pinkies on the pelvis, thumbs on the rib. Find that place where it's uncomfortable and painful. Not in the joints, but in the tight muscle. Once you got that, you pull the shoulders down again. Now we're going to create that sphere with our hands. And we're going to do 5 again here. So we're going to hinge down, but you're going to stay there. Stay in that hinge once you've gotten as far as you can. Open into like a long wing, like a bird. And sink a little deeper every time. If you're falling back like I am, that's a good thing. Just reset. Bit off a little more than I could chew, but that's good. That shows me I'm putting my weight where it should be. I fail frequently with this stuff. That's the amount of intention you want to be putting into this. Same idea as if I was about to do a 200-pound deadlift. I'm putting that much energy and strength. Again, I'm going to shut up, listen to me breathe. Filling up the lungs. Breathing out. Again, falling over. Just had a rough day. That's good though, just reset. It's not about getting to that number 5 fast. And that goes for another thing, is I always have a critique. Even if I was standing with you guys, I would critique myself. There'd be something I would point out. So you can always get a little better at these exercises. Every time I watch a video, I'm like, nah, head's tilted back. I'm a little rounded. There's always little things you can improve upon. You're always lengthening. So we did narrow, we did mid, and we're going to go wide. So get as far as you can. Don't have your feet too far out if it's painful, like the guy last time, it hurt him to do that. He wants to be uncomfortable, but not like, ouch, the joint, sharp pain. Don't hurt the joints, hurt the muscles. That's the pain you want to push through, that muscular stuff. So as wide as we can get. Same thing, we're going to lengthen. Now we're going to go to the ground. So we're hinging back, starting in the wide position again. Well, we start here. Going down towards the ground. It's okay if you can't get there. Don't bend at your back. It takes me a while to get down. Ground, and I just walk out a little bit. And then just ease back up. Do about 5 of those. Take your time with it. The idea is you're keeping those hamstrings loaded that whole time. Keeping that tension. And again, we're going to do all 3 of these again at the end. So if right now you're like, I don't quite get this, we'll come back to it. I don't want to spend too much time in the hot sun here. I'm sure you don't either. You can really feel the arches here working at the bottom. Sometimes I just hang out here as a morning stretch. Pulling, driving my hips back as my fingers go forward. If you're really struggling with that one, you could do it against a bed. So just imagine there's a bed here. Same idea, I'm nice and wide. And I'm just going to the bed and then walking out and hinging. That's going to allow you to get a little bit lower without doing too much rounding. So your hands are going in between your legs. Watch me again. Just watch me. I'm here. I'm hinging. Then I'm walking that way. So we're lengthening the torso. Here I'm going to round at the spine, which might unlock your neck, but we don't want too much of that. So now we'll move on to the foam rollers. Lucky only 2 of you came. I'll let you hold on to that for now. I'll demonstrate and then I'll let you both have at it. So yeah, actually no, I'm going to keep it over here because I think you like to do things before you actually observe me. So not so much in the middle. We're going to hit the diaphragm area, the breathing area, and then up in here. So careful getting on this thing. So I'm going to start here, right at the diaphragm area. I know I'm there. I'm always going to keep my butt in the air, so it's always hovering. Then I just support my head. I'm going to go pretty much one bone at a time, lightly pull. Okay, I didn't feel too much tension. A little bit of tension there. Actually got some release. So I'm not yanking hard. Moving up right to probably the bottom of the shoulder blades where I know the muscle is tight. Then I skip all the way up to the top. Same thing, hover in there, do the same thing, working my way down now. So we're kind of working in towards the middle each time. And then you'll hit that area where your nose is going to move. There it is. That wasn't really too bad today. I noticed the more I've done this stuff, the less motion I've gotten. When I first started doing foam rolling, like everything would move. You're like, oh, I feel good for like 5 seconds. But I was so weak that everything went out again. So we just move stuff. That's the best time we want to strengthen it. So we strengthened before we warmed our body up. So we're not rolling stuff that's stagnant. We're not going to hurt ourselves. There's a lot you can do with the foam roller. I'm just showing you some of the spine stuff. Like you can go side to side with it. You can roll your legs. But we'll just stick with the spine today. Who wants the painful one? Okay.
I bought one like it.
So careful getting down. If you want, you can even do like your little squat, grab onto the foam roller, walk your way onto it. Or a good one is you can crawl your way down to it, you know, walk your way out, roll onto it, whatever you feel is necessary. So it's nice and hot. Let's see if we can angle this a little. Start at the diaphragm. I'm coming. Back on the head, yep. So where you're engaging here, so you're just pulling your head up. Make sure you're really lengthened first though, and get your dupa off the ground.
Oh, that's right.
That's Pennsylvanian for butt, your dupa. A dupa. So less rolling motion and just kind of one bone at a time. I know everyone you see is always rolling on this thing. They're getting their whole back. We're getting really specific with it. Try to go one bone at a time. Getting some mobilization. Try to find that area that feels locked up. And it might feel sore, that doesn't mean it's locked up. You'll feel that kind of tension as you pull your head and you're like, oh yeah, and just pull a little bit more. And sometimes you get a nice release there. And I should have told you to focus on when we were doing the exercise, what was stuck to you, what you felt was restricted. Anything there?
Oh yeah, it's always my stuck spot.
Okay. Roll up and down a little bit. You'll notice this actually uses the hip flexor, which is good. In this position, our hips are dropped in comparison to our shoulders.
So roll it further up or down?
Stay about in here. Big muscles all the way to about here, then they stop. That's the erector spinae muscle. Right there. We don't want to go too much into the rounded area. And same as the foundation stuff. You have to play around with it for a little bit. See if you can get some movement, and then we'll go back into the exercises. And Dr. Daniel does a video. He does some weird stuff. I'll recap it. Because you can roll the chest and everything. The diaphragm area, you can kind of get on the side a little bit too, into the ribs. And we say don't go into the lumbars, but I do. I go a little bit right here into that lumbar. Because we want to get that erector spinae muscle. Most of us are weak down at the bottom of the lumbars, so don't even go there. Just about where I'm at. Can you see that? Kind of right below the diaphragm. Right where I'm engaged. Same thing, I can pull. We never want to lean back though. Just always lightly going there. One bone at a time, little movement there. Little movement there. That was good. Skip the middle, go up top. One exercise you could do is pulling up. See how I'm engaging the neck. Same thing here, opening up. Spend some time there doing that. Little mobilization there, some more movement. Pulling those shoulders open. Using that neck. So you're kind of using the roller to pull the shoulders down. Driving the head up till you hit that shaky point. Especially since we're tight up here. Driving those down. I'm closing my eyes because I don't want to stare into the sun.
I know.
Getting broad in the chest. So try that one a little bit. Let's see if we can get that neck engagement going. That's one thing I miss a lot is the neck. It's something that Dr. Daniel misses a lot. He loves to hunch and then go into this. And so his neck is very hypermobile. So we're working on that with him. But that's years of bad stuff going on.
Nice to know the chiropractors aren't perfect. Doctors aren't
So
perfect.
roll almost to the top of your shoulders, right here, right in the meat. I'm feeling those today. So first do a couple here, opening up. You can roll a little bit, pull. And once you got the roller here, using it to push the shoulders down, that's when you can drive your shoulders down, lengthen your neck. The piece I forgot to add, come here with them. You want to pull them across the chest. Then try and lift up. You should hit a wall, so don't bend at your spine to get there. I'd even get it higher if you could. Roll a little bit more. Okay. Almost there, yeah.
Okay.
And we're lengthening, driving down. Don't fall off it, but. And that's tricky to get on top of those shoulder blades. It's almost like you gotta lock it in place first. But don't cram your neck in. You don't crunch your neck in. Keep it lengthened, yeah. That way. Now pull the arms up. Keep everything tight, good. Keep going, get that sphere of tension. Make a ball, like you're putting your fingers around a balloon. There you go. You're smart, you brought the sunglasses. Fingertips together.
Yeah.
So we're pressing those fingertips together. Then pulling up. Good. Any questions over there? Okay. Yeah, same thing. Hurting the joints. Stop. Okay. That looks really good. Your core engagement looks really good there. You able to feel that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's okay to stretch it out. But those are those muscles too that we should be using when we're standing, is these hip flexor muscles. So we're using those on the roller to engage, and we're pushing off, and then we're adding other stuff in. So that could work to strengthen as well as mobilize. And then you want to run through those exercises one more time, or you want to roll some more? Let's show one more. We'll show one more with the roller. It's not the spine, but it's important. Because we're talking about these muscles being tight, pulling our hips back. I guess I need to do this in the camera again. Such a waste of time.
Don't let go of the roller. I know, right?
So what you can do
I'm gonna move over here so I'm not.
you get in the meat of the dupa, kind of lengthen, pulling that hip in, and you're just rolling what's often called the piriformis muscle. It hurts. And you can even cross a little bit more, but you're staying in the meat, you're not on the bone. Compare each side. You don't want to spend more than a minute on a muscle. Pulling that knee across. Just rolling, keeping that core nice and tight, chest broad, same idea. Right in there. So we can do that. That's really tight on everyone in the hips. That might help us with our hip engagement a little bit. Tighter on the left for me, so I just spend an extra second rolling that. Word of caution here, sometimes it's sore. Might mean it's overstretched. So if it's overstretched, we don't want to roll it, right?
Okay.
Because rolling is a type of stretching, it's massaging. So if you get up and you're like, man, that feels worse, you might have rolled an overstretched muscle. Like a lot of people roll their IT band and it gets worse. So just pay attention for stuff like that. So it might actually be tighter on the side that's less sore. All right. So let's run through the exercises one more time. You want to try that one? You already have an idea how it feels?
Well, I probably.
Again, 30 seconds maybe. Or we'll switch spots. Get you over here.
I'm gonna skip this one because I don't want to get down on my knees again.
It's all good. Crossing the butt side. So it's sacrum's right here. Piriformis runs to the hip. So we're getting right there in the glute. So we're trying to take that hip and turn it in. So you're pulling your knee in. You should feel that stretch kind of here, and you're just rolling right in the middle of the muscle. We don't want to roll so much the joint tissue. That's okay too.
Oh, I found it.
You found it.
Yeah, I found it. I know exactly where it's at. We have beef. I had a spasm of the piriformis. Oh, golly.
Yes, because that's one of those muscles, since the sciatic nerve goes underneath,
Oh,
it can clamp it.
wow.
An overstretched muscle can clamp it as well.
Well, I had sciatica, and then the next time it was.
Oh,
No, the other knee goes on
yes,
that one.
there we go.
We used to have people in the hospital when they'd have sciatica flare up. Now they just they leave them at home and give them pain pills. I know. I know. It was terrible. When my husband passed away last year, the hospice nurse goes, "Now get rid of all these meds and everything." I thought, heck no! I just put them up in a cupboard. Who knows when you might need them?
Part of the reason over there is so awesome because
And once we're done rolling, we're going to hit the exercises because we got more motion now, so we need to use it. So let's throw the foam rollers to the side. Get them out the way, off the hot ground. We'll do the same 3. So we'll start, why don't you get over there so if you don't want to be in the camera here. Big toes together. Pull up those lateral arches. You're squeezing the inner thigh, lengthening, chest is broad, driving the arms down, and serve the platter. This time I'm going to come help you guys. So do about 5. Don't lock your knees though, or yeah, a little bend enough. But keep yourself taller. Yeah. Drop the arms for a second. Let's get really broad, all the way down. Squeeze here. Do you feel locked in there? Locked in the hips.
Yeah, there.
Driving, squeezing, head straight up. Now raise your arms. Keep that engagement there. So you got your big toes together, pulling up the outside, and maybe a little bend. You're good there. Hinging and squeezing. Core is tight. Drop the arms for a second. Before we hinge, we want to be straight. Yeah. So we're just engaging a little bit just to lengthen. Driving up, shoulders down, a little bend in the elbow. Create some tension there. Now, keep that squeeze. Now raise the arms. This one's a little different because we're kind of starting low. So I'm here, pulling the hands together, then lifting. Feel the difference? So we're scooping up underneath instead of going here. So when we go here, we internally rotate. The idea is to open up the shoulder, broaden it, then go up. We need one more. Don't extend too much. Get yourself in there.
Pull in your gut.
Pull in the gut. Better in the knees. Down. Here. Yes. Now hinge at your hips. Going up. This one we hinge a lot less. It should feel impossible to hinge as much. Got a thorn in my, okay. So I'm here. This is about as much as I can hinge. I'm here, broad. That's about all I can get. Hitting that wall. We're here, we can get a lot more. Broadening and hinging. So switch on to the normal founder. About shoulder width apart. Same thing, we're squeezing, pushing those into the socket. That should automatically make you taller, broadens your chest, makes your arms drop. Then activate the arms. You gotta get everything else before the arms and the neck. I think you guys are better with this one, so I'll let you go. You're a little tucked. So engage there. Hold that. Feel that kind of loads that hamstring? Yeah. Try it again. So just, yeah, go chest level. The problem is if we go too high, we tend to kind of lean back to get there. So once you got that, then you're hinging and raising. Lengthening in the middle. Good. Good. Don't lock the knees because you want to feel that tension in the back. So we got it. Get it all stacked up and ready. Lengthened. Awesome. So come just chest height, sphere, chest broad. Don't hinge until you get that chest up. That's that first step. It's a little different. So we're here. I get to the chest, locking, creating tension. Then I'm hinging. The only tendency is, yeah, we're just building tension, adding tension. One more time. We're almost done. We got like, okay. 3 more minutes, promise. Make sure we got it. Yeah, you're lengthening, good. Sphere of tension to the center, don't hinge. Now you hinge, good. That was good because you did what I was doing before. And now it was easier for me this time. After I rolled, I didn't have that feeling of falling back as much. That's where my center of gravity was going, but I had brought more balance by unlocking a few areas. Watch the neck. Make sure we're not hunching that in. Make sure we're, yeah. We don't want to go, we don't want to put our turtle head in our turtle shell. We want to lengthen up, driving that head up. Let's get really wide now. Let's finish up. Same thing, we're not locking the knees out. We're keeping a light bend, engaging broad, shoulders down, going down to the ground. There's a lot you can do here. One exercise I will throw in sometimes is this, raising. I'll walk a little more, raise, walk a little more, raise. That way you're keeping the tension the whole time. It's going to be more beneficial. When you're first starting out, it's hard to keep that tension the whole time. The spine is just so dang weak. So when you're walking forward, make sure you're pushing back with the hips. So we're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm pushing back with my hips as well. So I'm pushing back here too. And as I get here, I push my hips back as I crawl. As I crawl. Tons of hamstring tension. Pay attention. I'm going to show one more time. Here, bend in the knees. Don't do it. Just watch. Down. The hips are pushed back. So as I walk, I push my hips back. Instead, I'm not doing this, right? Pushing back. Creating length. Little by bit. It's exhausting, but you're really opening up everything. All right, get out of here.
What are you going to do after your wedding for classes?
Same times, probably. And hopefully it'll be much cooler.
Yeah, you probably go at least through October outside.
Yeah, I think October will be fine. It might be a little dark, but I'm sure there'll be lights and stuff, and people won't get murdered.
Well, we can come on Tuesday and march around with the marching band.
Yeah, if there's ever a ton of people like this, we'll probably just be somewhere in there. But we did okay. I wanted to use this for the rolling. That's why we were here, because in the grass, it works, but not so well in the grass.